I'm
We're
not
live.
sharing my screen again.
We're live.
Oh,
Boom.
I was supposed to play that music, but I didn't. Shit. Oh, the opening music. The whole reason why I left in the first place. Bum, bum, bum. Oh, that's it. Other music. All right. Hey, everybody. This is Stoner Morning Show. My name is Lex. I'm joined by Bill Suter and the high one, JQ. And this is a comedy show, and it's centered around the use of marijuana, but we don't advocate it use in your state if you're not allowed to smoke, but we advocate for you to advocate for the legalized use of weed in your state. I'm also joined with me with my new reading, wearing them like lower, like this. This is how I want to start wearing them. You, I feel really comfortable like this. Actually, it's way better than the other way. I could see why people wear their glasses like this all the time.
You're gonna hate me for this, and I'm sorry, but you remind me of the last time I seen your father. He looked like that.
Hey, he was a handsome man. If I get his looks, that's fine. If I got his dick, I'd really kill myself. It's bad when your mom tells you your dad has a small dick, and I think she loved him at the time.
Oh, look, there it is.
Whoa.
Ooh. It's Inception. All right. What was I going to share with you guys? Oh, I know.
Seagulls?
Seagulls. It's
Oh.
this guy. Now, my biggest issue with this is, well, the seagull looks awesome. But I don't like that this guy gets to call himself a UFO expert just because he has a picture like that. I feel like that's all you need to be a UFO expert.
I'm gonna be honest. Like when I started reading the article, that's not the picture I expected of the guy who came up with this theory.
Yeah.
Like
Tell us more about it. Tell us more about it.
I follow the UFO community, and this guy is like supposedly the top echelon of the UFO community. Like he's worked with the English government and everything. So he used to run their, I guess, their UFO task force. So
All right, I gotta stop sharing. Can I just say? So is this what they're saying? Is that all right? Is this what they're saying? What?
I said I can control it. So
thank you.
I can turn it on and off. Yeah.
Cool. They're saying that seagulls are drones. They're not saying that they're actual aliens. They're drones, right?
Yeah.
I believe so.
To watch us.
Was it some seagulls or was it like all of them?
Well, that's a good. Yeah. Well, he just made it sound like it was all seagulls, but that makes more sense if it was like potluck if you get a seagull drone or not. But I've driven over. That's what I was going to say. I've driven over seagulls before, at least one in particular.
Yeah,
you did your part.
You really look at it.
Listen, that thing was a bloody mess, and I'll tell the story. I think I might have told you guys, but it might be a while. All my stories are as important to you as it is to me. I was working with my father at the time. Ironically, to talk about my father, I was working with my father at the time selling insurance at Allstate, and I was at this town, Brentwood, and it had just snowed, so there was pockets, and it snowed and then rained. So there was pockets of snow still around, it was a good snow. It was a good pile, but there was also blotches. It was a lot. It was more not snow than there was snow, right?
I got you.
And so as we're walking through this parking lot across from the office, there's this seagull just sitting behind the car, behind my dad's minivan. And it's like clearly gasping for breath. At first we thought that's why I was talking about the snow, because I kind of thought it was snow. Why would a seagull just stay there, right? I've never seen a seagull sit still for if you get close to it.
Yeah.
And so it's just like gasping for air. And we're sitting there like, oh man, this thing's dying. Like it's in pain. This is what my dad starts going into. He's like, it's in pain. Somebody's got to kill it. And I'm like,
oh no.
You're the grown up. I'm like, I think I was like 18 at the time. And my dad's like, somebody's got to kill it. And then the real funny thing too to me was this woman came up. There was like a Wendy's right there, and she walked up. She had just came out from Wendy's and was like, "Whoa, what's wrong with the seagull?" And we're like, "We think it's dying," and you could see it's clearly gasping for breath. It was breathing like that seagull in the picture, and she, as it breathes and opens its mouth to gasp, she shoves a fucking French fry in this thing's mouth, and it's like, it wasn't trying. And then my dad's like, "Oh, somebody's got to kill it," and I'm like, it's you or me." And if it's somebody, then you're making me kill this seagull. He's like, "I'll tell you."
How old were you again?
I'm like 18, so it's not like I'm a baby. But he goes, "I'm too scared." He goes, "I'm too scared to drive over it and miss it and not kill it instantly. So I'll guide you so that you don't fuck up." And then he guides me so that I just clip it sideways and fucking maim it first before I actually drive over it. That's what he didn't want to do. He guided me into just torturing that poor fucking. Just like it was the worst.
Oh my god, that's awesome.
Was it screaming?
We tried to, but a French fry was stuck in its mouth.
That's so fucking horrible.
Yeah. So anyway, that thing was not a robot. That's all. That thing splattered, and it was sad.
I love the life lessons.
Yeah.
Well, I think he also said in the article, though, it could be like an implant in the seagulls.
Yeah.
And they basically just like hijack a seagull.
And I mean,
so maybe you got one.
I would think it's just data recovery. They're just doing what the Chinese are doing to us with TikTok,
Yeah.
They're just recording all our movement. But it's not like, there's no I don't see seagulls out here. Seagulls are everywhere, but I don't see a lot of seagulls here. Why would they just...
Really?
Yeah. I really don't see a lot of seagulls.
I thought they were everywhere.
Yeah, me too.
Like anywhere there was ocean, there's like a seagull just kind of hanging out.
I live inland and I see seagulls still.
Really?
Yeah. I live up in upstate New York. But
I knew that, but
there are two Great Lakes. There are two Great Lakes pretty close to me.
And I guess they would come up through rivers.
I have a cool bar fact, which is one of those a potpourri of useless information. Seagulls are one of two birds that can shit while flying. Do you know the other bird?
Larry?
Yes, Larry the bird can fly.
No, Larry Bird.
Oh, Larry Bird. Actually, he probably has shit while flying. Yeah.
Why he flies?
It's an albatross. Albatross.
Really?
Really?
No.
It's because they're flying in the ocean. They're flying over the ocean at such great distances that they've evolved to shit while flying.
Pigeons
don't shit when they fly. They sit down. That's why there's always like shit on statues
Cars,
and under the
from the trees.
Yep.
I never thought about it. I thought all birds just shat and flew.
Nope.
Well, then I would.
That's also why.
Maybe.
You ever see
maybe those are the drones.
The germs?
The drones. Maybe those ones, the ones that shit while flying, are the drones. And that's it's their version of chemtrails.
Yeah. Just to have them. Just to have a version of chemtrails. We can do this shit too and better. No real reason.
That's funny.
I like telling people here in Asia that, like, in America, we think getting shit on by a bird is good luck, and they think it's the most ridiculous thing as they're eating like frog and dog. Yo, I was in Hanoi, and they still eat. They do eat dog. Like it's like a completely like
for real.
Is it a delicacy or is it like a normal thing?
No, it's not a delicacy. It's just like a thing.
Vulture
like,
shit while flying.
Right, Pumpkin?
One of the comics was like his wife will eat dog once a month at least.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you hear that, buddy?
Doing their taxes.
It's crazy. And you know what's the craziest thing? this is the one thing I noticed too. They had the best looking dogs. Sorry, Skipper. You're a good looking dog, but I mean, he as well groomed as him. Like a cute. They had cute, really good looking, handsome dogs. Some really fucking majestic. There was one dog in particular, like I think it was like an Afghani wolfhound or some shit that was just like fucking gorgeous. I don't know, but they had really good looking dogs, and I'm like, and it was so weird because like Thailand, they don't eat dog here, but they have a shit ton of dogs just roaming around.
That's how.
I think he's right. You get only slow cooked pit bull meat.
Wait, is Tough as Nails a pit bull song? That's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping. Oh, that'd be great. Oh.
Hey, Bill, when you take off your glasses, does it take a minute to adjust? Oh,
I'm just immediately blind.
You're instantly blind.
Yeah, just blurred.
Yeah, I don't know if they only eat the ugly dogs. I think so, but right, it's just weird that you could have a dog relationship, like that these dogs are capable of being super cool. I don't know.
Yeah, it's rough because man evolved with dog. Like they've been together since fucking human
cannabis.
Beings. Yeah.
Since men found cannabis, they got high and were like, these wolves aren't that bad, man. You guys are pretty cool, actually.
Throw him some food, man.
Yeah.
Stick a French fry in that one. He looks hungry.
He looks like he can't breathe. Stick a French fry in his mouth.
Yeah. I couldn't. I was in South America, and I was offered like horse to eat, and I was just like, I can't do it.
I can eat horse. I actually ate horse. I ate horse before. Sad. I think that might be sad to some people.
I've eaten the meatballs at IKEA.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Oh.
Yeah, they eat a whole dog. I'm sure they eat the ribs. Like I saw a picture of a dog, and it was like they burned the hair off, so you could see the shape of the full dog. It's very close to looking like a pig. When you see a pig kind of cooked.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like brownish, like the skin. They keep the skin on it, but the hair wasn't there. It kind of looked like the pictures of the chupacabra that washed up.
Yes. Okay, that's what I was thinking.
Oh, exactly. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's exactly how I was thinking it. Thank you for that. That was great.
Yeah.
Perfect. Now I know exactly what it looks like.
It doesn't look that much like a dog in a weird way. So you kind of it goes back to almost looking like meat, but then you know what it is. And then I talked to a comic who said he was a white dude from America, and he said he ate dog meat, and he said, it is kind of like pig, and he said it wasn't bad. He said it was, like good, not that he was looking to eat any more of it, but he didn't have the boundaries like it. Yeah, exactly, Don. What I love, we all watch Rick and Morty. That scene when he fucked with the squirrels, when the squirrels were like, the squirrels, the squirrels recognize that Morty is listening. Do you remember that episode?
Yeah.
And they literally just bail on the whole reality. It would be mind-boggling if
the seagulls.
If the seagulls, if it was something like that. I always think, I remember watching one of the Star Trek episodes. It might have been one of the Star Trek Next Generation, the movie, where they're like in an invisible. It was like a mountain, right? That at the end of the episode or the movie, they're like choo choo choo, and they shot the mountain facade. And then you find out it's like a science station, and they had like a hologram of it looked like a mountain. And I'm like, that's so fucking possible. That's way more possible than any of this other like butt fingering stuff going on.
The probing.
Yeah.
Yo, speaking of the dogs, can we go to the one article with the horse typing, the out horsing?
Oh yes, the outhorsing.
Do you want me to look it up, Jay?
Yeah, I got it. Go ahead.
Oh, no, you got it. Oh, it was just me
You
again?
just got to
Okay.
show it on your screen.
Okay, cool.
All right. I just want to like scroll. Uh-oh.
I'm leaving Facebook, guys, forever.
If you just scroll down, like I'm trying to do it on my phone, and
So it says Icelandic horses compose out of office emails.
there's
People.
All right, so this is what it reads. Workers set to leave for a holiday but unsure what to write in their out-of-office message can relax and leave it up to horses from Iceland as part of a bizarre stunt. The wacky idea is part of a new campaign inspired by Iceland. That reads great. Known as Out Horse, your email, people can request a special message written by one of three animals: little star, rhymes, or crochet. This annoys me the more I read it. I'm getting angry now.
that's good enough, man. I actually had to look up crochet because I thought it was a verb. I'm like,
Yeah.
crochet's a verb though. But turns out it's both. It's a noun and a verb. It's one of those words that throw people off. If you look in here though, they put as like a source
Yes.
in the article, like, so and so said it's the director of their visitor center or something, like tourism, and his name. There it is. Yeah. D-O-double-G.
It looks like the horse spelled it for him.
That's what I was gonna say too. Yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
sorry. Yeah. Yeah. You could actually have
Exactly.
your name.
I'm glad.
It does make me feel better that this is what the horses are typing, that they're just walking on a giant keyboard, and it is just a giant stunt. There it is. Look at that giant keyboard. I would love to see Tom Hanks write an email on that. That would be good.
What about a horse dressed up like Tom Hanks?
Ooh, even better. Or Tom Hanks dressed up like a horse. I'll take either.
Yes.
Let's make that happen. I always wanted to go to a Halloween party just dressed as the horse, like the guy with suspenders, like the suspenders and the back half of a horse, but not the top half of a horse. Like nobody at the party.
Yeah.
Did you see Pablo's comment that just drifted off? That was funny. I don't know. Can you read it? Where can we read that?
Here, I can take this off.
Oh, comments. We got all these horses, man. We got to give them something to do. It is a problem.
Finally, they got work. I wonder if they have a union.
Oh,
Horses?
yes. Who did anybody finish reading the article? Who was the best writer, like horse rider?
I couldn't make it that far. I got angry until I saw D-O-double-G.
Yeah. Once I found out they
My
named
dog.
a horse crochet, I had a real problem. There was an article, by the way, one of the other articles that you read, we don't have to pull it up, but there was the article about not making your bed. And
yes.
Did you read that? The article, that one
Yeah.
I read because I'm a nerd like that shit. There was an article that Jay found about not making your bed. And I'm a stickler about making my bed.
You are. That's why I sent it too.
Aw. They say don't make your bed because there's all this moisture from sweating and masturbating. So you should leave your covers open, air it out, and then you won't have funk growing in you.
Average
mattress,
person leaves like something like 238 milliliters of fluid in their sheets and beds and pillows.
Some more than other. Oh, the other bird that shits while flying, it's a seagull and an albatross.
Oh, yeah. Albatross.
And then somebody wrote that vultures shit while flying as well.
Well, they're lying.
Took so much offense to that.
Don't take this away from me. Stop. Nobody Google this. I could be wrong. I've seen a kangaroo punch a man in the face. I'm certain of it. That's all I know. The internet never lies.
Did you guys see that video I sent of old timey New York and the people walking by?
It was awesome.
It's they just walking. My thing was like they just walk into the street.
Yeah, well, how fast was the cars driving? It wasn't like they had to look out for anybody. I thought you were going to be ducking.
They look out for everybody. Yeah, dude. It turns out I looked it up. 95% of accidents in the city were pedestrians getting hit. 95%.
This is back in 1911?
Yeah, like by horses, by
Okay.
cars, by trolleys.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Well,
And if you watch that video, like you see them, like I saw like 3 or 4 different people just walk right in front of a trolley.
yeah. Hey, I don't know. They got it down pat in Vietnam. When I was over there, it's more gangster than even the Thai. Like you see pictures of Thailand, and they got a shit ton of motorbikes, but they also got
Yeah.
stoplights and like people kind of obey traffic for the most part. Every once in a while, you get like you drive down the wrong side of the street, but that like everybody accepts that. You got to go where you got to go. Over in Hanoi, in Saigon in particular, well, maybe Hanoi, man, dude, you just walk at a consistent pace and don't stop until you get to where you're going, and just walk in a straight line and don't look. Just keep walking, and then you're good. It's crazy, but it's
Wow.
this like weird flow where you just kind of gotta. Everybody's just kind of moving. There's rarely a light. It's exactly what you hear in movies, like the intensity of like people who don't give a fuck driving.
Yeah.
It's awesome. To get high and get on the back of a motorbike of a guy that you never met, and then drive in traffic like that, you will never have your nipples harder. It's the best.
Wow. It's like an adrenaline junkie's dream.
What's it?
Yeah, man. I
I
watch
was just
people
thinking.
in Russia hanging off of buildings, and I'm like, try taking like a 2-hour motorbike ride in Hanoi, motherfuckers.
I was thinking about that time when we were on the Vespa, and the backrest snapped off while we were going down 8th Ave, going like 40.
Jay, I almost snapped. He was on a little Vespa in Manhattan, and I'm on the back of this thing, and I'm fat as fuck at the time, and using this little metal like, dude, it was like a banana. It was like a 7-year-old woman's banana seat on a Huffy bike, and I'm leaning on it. No, it's nicer than that, but I was leaning on it, and it just
That was a
snapped.
very good description.
Thank you. I thought it for some reason could hold my weight as I leaned back to like build groove, because he's just zipping him in and out of fucking traffic, and then all of a sudden the thing just snaps, and I'm almost like I also just grabbed the back of his jacket. Just yeah.
Oh God.
Terrible.
I laughed so hard.
Oh my god.
Oh, dude,
I had.
you know what happened? Sorry, that was so funny. That was so funny. I did a show. I did a show in Hanoi, and we went back to a different place where we could smoke weed. Right, we went to this other like bar where you could smoke weed, and I let my friend, the comic who invited me, to drive back, my girlfriend, because you had to cross over a highway, which was super dangerous. It just felt dangerous because I'm walking across the fucking highway.
Yeah.
We walked there together, and I was like, yo, take my girl. And I was walking back by myself. It started draining a little bit, and some dude who drives a Grab motorbike, he has like a Grab jacket on and shit. Grab is like Uber, but they also have motorbikes, they have taxis, right?
Okay.
They also deliver food now. Uber does, right? So same shit. But this guy just pulled over. He's like, yo, I'll take you where you want to go. But he said it in Vietnamese, but I'm guessing that's what he said. And then we haggled over a ridiculous price, which I overpaid, but I was like, I don't give a fuck. But he wanted twice as much as I was even going to offer. And that was already a ripoff. But I was like, all right, fuck it, because I think it's going to rain. And let me just get to smoking weed. And then we drive right past the place. The place is close. Obviously, it was in walking distance, right? It was like a 15-minute walk, but we were there in 5 minutes. He just zips right past it, starts going down this alley. And I'm like, no, you passed it. You fucking passed it. And then he went down another alley. Went down another alley, and I'm just going, and the alleys are tight. They're fucking tight, you know. Like it was just like, I'm
Well,
like,
this sounds
yo,
like some bone collector shit.
fuck yeah, right? So I just fucking jumped right off. I just jumped off the motorbike. I just jumped right
You already
off.
knew how to You already knew how to do that.
Yeah, you learned. You learned that in
Yeah,
Manhattan.
exactly. Yeah, that's what made me think about it. I just pretended that this shitty motorbike thing snapped off, and I just allowed myself to fall. I was like, "Bye, Bill. I'll miss you."
Yeah. Tumbling down the road. Did you
Yeah.
tumble?
No, I landed. I landed cleanly. He was as amazed as I was. We both looked at it and was like, "Whoa, that was amazing!" And then I stood. I was like ready to fucking fight. I was like, "Yo, I'm fucking done." And he's like, and then he's like, he acted. He was a pretty good actor. I think he might have just fucked up and drove past the place. But I don't know, man. I wasn't playing because it wasn't like this is what popped in my head too as we passed was I didn't order the grab. It's not like anybody knew where I was, right? So it wasn't like you could complain or it would be on record of who answered and whose motorbike it was, right? The guy just happened to pull over and say if I wanted to ride. So I was like, this motherfucker's taking me somewhere. And I just fucking threw the money that I agreed to on the ground. And I just walked away. Well, I stood there for a second. He's like, come on, I'll drive it. And it was like, fuck you. You know, and he was really aggressive about it. And I was like, and I just took my money, I dropped it on the ground, and I fucking walked away.
That's a hairy situation.
Or he was a really nice guy who got lost. But it's exciting the way I don't know. I couldn't speak Vietnam, so I don't know.
Damn.
I think he made the right decision.
Right?
I would have done the same thing.
It was a good 3 or 4 minute brisk walk back. He drove pretty fucking longer than anybody would be comfortable on the back of a motorbike when you're telling the guy it's behind you. And he's like, yeah.
That's fucking insane.
Yeah, dude.
Wow. Good for you. Good story.
That motherfucker eats dog. I know it. Asshole.
Did it boost your adrenaline? Or are you going to be like now jumping off the back of motorbikes more often?
I do it.
To get that feeling again.
That's the real.
Yeah.
Can't live without it.
Anytime you're on one, anytime you take one to a spot you're going, you're just like deuces.
Yeah,
I always throw the money too.
I tell him drive a block past where he's supposed to drop me off, and then jump off where I'm supposed to get off. And
you get so good, you start doing it like Bollywood style, adding some flair to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you can't do Bollywood. I'd be flipping 20 feet in the air. They're amazing in Bollywood. I wish we saw more Bollywood stuff. Have either of you guys seen the Doctor Strange?
Nah.
No, not yet. I did see I'll tell you what movie I did see. Northman. That movie is fucking amazing. Yeah.
I don't know.
You gotta watch it if you get to watch it, see it. With that who is it, the Bill Skarsgård or whatever?
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Was it in the cinemas?
Yes, it was in the cinemas.
I heard the theory that movie theaters are dying. Netflix is running shit, right? Even though their stock went down like crazy, but Netflix is running shit. They got the whole streaming on lockdown, and then obviously other streaming things. The cinema's hurting. I hear the theory is Disney is going to buy up like AMC or whatever, one of these bigger. They'll buy multiple, and then when you're watching, you're going to start seeing like all these movies are going to be like 4D, that like sitting in a chair and everything shaking and action, and then misting you, just smelly jizz flying.
I should have sent this article that I found, but there is I think Naughty Dog or one of those big one of the big video game companies are actually going, and they're making an open world that's going to be like Ready Player One, the movie, so that developers can go in and add their worlds into this and everything.
Yeah, well, that's the metaverse.
Cool.
That's the metaverse, man.
So,
and what's interesting too is the metaverse is like, say you got, I mean, who knows what Facebook is going to do because they're assholes, right? But theoretically, if you got like Decentraland, Decentral in this Sandbox, those are the two biggest metaverses. Blocktopia, I think, is another one. They're working, like Decentraland in particular, is working to make connections. So the idea would be somebody has, like, say, this Sims type metaverse, right? Online game that you could walk around and do all your shit. Or you have World of Warcraft, right? But you also have bridges that connect those, so you could bring those. That's the whole point of like NFTs and shit like that.
Yeah.
So you could, and so it won't be like it won't be one company like in Ready Player One that does it. It'll be multiple companies learning how to connect with each other.
Yes.
And since we're on that naturally went to just real quick because I'm just saying this to people who listen. Because we were talking Bitcoin and cryptocurrency during the last year, around this time last year, and that was when it was running at its peak, and it ended up being at the top. So anybody who was really focused on cryptocurrency at that time, we're now at the bottom. Mathematically, we're as close to the bottom as we were at the top, talking about buying cryptocurrency then. But at this point, this is the actual time where you should be thinking about buying. As terrifying as it is, and as little money as you have, you might have as much as At one point, D.E. Williams didn't have hair, but now look at this fucking fro. Anyway, welcome to the show. This is D. Williams, JQ, and Bill Suter are the co-hosts.
Hey, how's it going?
What's up?
Hey, how's it going, dudes?
D's a comic that I met in Wahin, he's a little outside of Bangkok. You're hanging out with all old white retirees from France, I believe, right?
Yeah, they are. They're all old.
It's funny because every time I see old people now, because I'm so close to it, I'm like, these guys are still fucking. And that bugs me. But I'm also happy for them,
Yeah, I sell them the Viagra.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
It's good money.
Skipper does look delicious, by the way.
But Daddy's tough.
So I went down and did a show down in Wahin, and then we DE just popped in and was like, yo, can I do 5-10 minutes, whatever? And you've only been doing comedy for a couple of years, right? Just a little bit.
Yeah,
right?
just like 2 or 3 years. Started in the Army.
But you've been,
Nice.
Oh,
Navy.
Bill's Navy.
Oh, nice. Okay, there you go. I was just HR, just paperwork. So
Bill kills people.
Nah.
oh, shoot, I delivered the
I
mail.
protected things. I was in a Riverine squadron.
Oh, okay. I delivered
So,
the
like-
mail in Afghanistan.
Oh wow.
Nice. I delivered the mail in Manhattan. I don't think it's
Yeah,
anywhere
yeah,
near
yeah.
your delivery.
Bill
There you go. Somehow I
protected
feel like-
opium. Bill protected opium fields.
Oh,
Fields of
okay.
opium.
Nah,
No,
I
Man,
didn't
how come
do any of the hardcore places, man. So
Yeah, I want to hang out with guys who hang out in opium fields. But
puppies.
yo, you were nice enough, by the way, because I got high before I left Bangkok, but it was like a 2-hour drive. So by the time I got there, I was not that high. And then, luckily enough, this young man showed up. Hey, can I do 5 minutes? I have weed, and I was like, this guy must follow my Instagram. I love it. But no, he's dope, and he was really funny. It was really funny.
God bless.
But also, too, and I guess I'll see if I can share my screen again. You have a series of books coming out for stoners.
Yeah, so my degree is in writing from Liberty University. So I teach writing to high schoolers. And so I figured, why not start writing books for the hell of it? It's actually a really good way to generate some passive income. And so I thought to myself, what would be a better niche than my own community? Stoners. So instead of like the For Dummies book, I decided to make it funnier by using drugs as the metaphor in all the books. So it's for stoners. So that's the first in a series. So like I have pre-algebra for stoners. Like if you have like 2x equals 40 and x is your amount of mushrooms that you have, how much are you paying for this ounce of shrooms type shit? Get a secondary education with weed. Oh, that was bad. Yeah. I've got that one. And then also because I tried meditation in the mornings and that was boring as shit at 5 a.m. So I started smoking blunts at 5 a.m. instead. And I was like, it'd be nice to get something out of this. So I wrote that second one as well. called Bongo Naked. It's got like little quotes from your favorite stoners. And the Bongo Naked one is an homage to Matthew McConaughey. I don't know if you guys remember what happened to him back in the 90s.
Yes.
Yeah.
I vaguely remember this. What was it?
So UT Austin, his alma mater, they beat like the Cornhuskers or something, and he got so hyped. He got stoned and drunk for like 3 days. So finally, he was in his living room naked, slapping the bongos at 2 a.m. And without asking, the cops just came in, kicked his door in, and arrested him. And he got away with it.
He was like buck naked too, or something like that.
Yeah, he was dead ass naked. And he said in his book that his idea was he was so high, he thought, I know I'm handcuffed right now, but maybe I can run up the wall, do a backflip, and then show up behind him. He's so impressed they'll let me go. And instead, they just body checked him and beat the shit out of him. So they're like, no. The same lawyer that got him off is the same one that defended Willie Nelson on 3 of his 4 convictions. So,
well, good.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Good. Imagine kicking down a door. I still watch fucking First Amendment audits, even though I'm in Thailand. I can't stop watching this shit. And it's ridiculous. Imagine in your own house. This is land of the free, man. It's amazing. How many years is that afro going, by the way?
3 years in June.
I get so jealous of that shit, honestly.
I hide joints in it whenever I'm trying to drive and not get caught by cops. I can just stick a blunt in the hair and they'll never find out.
Brilliant, man. Amazing.
The closest I had was the perm.
It was a good perm.
I had the perm.
I rocked the fro for a little bit.
Nice.
How? Straight hair, bro. Look at this.
Oh.
No, you could stand your hair straight up. Yeah, I could do that too. It's not what you can't fraggle rock. Hair. Do you know
I can't do it anymore. My hair used to be really curly, but once it gets long, it doesn't. It's not curly anymore.
My cigarette.
Steve, what's your opinion about aliens using seagulls as drones?
Oh yes.
Information from us. There's a theory by a well-known, or at least a self-proclaimed UFOologist. It might be just a ufologist.
Yes, ufologist.
Ufologist. And he says that seagulls, he has a strong case that seagulls are drones from aliens. All right, fair enough. Put that down in the ledger, Jay.
Yeah.
DE says,
That sounds like whatever he's smoking, I want some. Like, I make edibles, but they're not that damn strong. Yeah.
Thinking about, has anybody ever been as high as Matthew McConaughey claims to be, just on weed, right? Because he just said he was smoking weed. Where if you're handcuffed, that you would think that if you did a backflip off a wall, that they might let you go. Like that would be a drunk move or an acid move.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think I was myself.
That high?
I don't think. If you guys ever heard of like these ardent machines, they're like decarboxylators for edibles.
Okay. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. So I bought one, and they don't have a lot here in Thailand, so it made all my edibles like the strongest ones in town by far. So I sell like the strongest edibles in my city right now because they don't know what it is. Thai people are like, "Wait, what? You can do things with weed?" I'm like, "Yeah." So when I was testing it out at first, I fucked up the dosage, and I ended up putting in like I think 60 milligrams into like one edible. Fucked up. And
yeah, man, just fucked up.
You know how you teach high school when you're that stoned? It was so
Oh.
They're like, "Teacher, are you okay?" I was like, yes. They were like,
they're like 125.
Oh shit,
a pop.
Yeah, they were like, "Teacher, you good?" I was like, "We're gonna have a movie day, kids." I was like,
oh man,
we just watched Pineapple Express for that day. I was like,
Jay,
we're not.
Ari Shafir's the one who I heard it from, the quote, but I love it. It's true. Is the worst thing you can do with drugs is not enough of it. That worst feeling when you're like, is it? Am I high? Am I high? Am I high? It's the worst. That's why I like nice, good. Like I ain't doing anything less than 25 milligrams. Like that's a joke to me. I gotta go. I'm going 50 minimum, and my goal is around 200. You know, I'm going Joey Diaz deep.
Go for it, yeah.
I on the McConaughey subject, I have been that drunk where I thought I could do like sweet moves.
Yes. Well, that's what I'm saying. Drunk. It's a drunk move.
Yeah, it's a total drunk move.
Yeah.
Like I thought I had the athletic skills to like juke a cop.
Yeah.
So like, so
Well,
basically it just
you're waiting for bet. You're just a little waiting for bet running around.
yeah. So, it wasn't a good idea because basically in the police report it reads that I charged at him. I charged at him and he subdued the suspect.
Once you throw a juke in there, they should know what a juke is, right?
Oh, there was no juke. It was like I was sloppy drunk. In my head, I was getting like the game ball. But like in reality, I just kind of like slowly like ran at him. Like it was more like swerving, just like spaghetti body.
I would love to see you in front of a jury of your peers describing a drunken juke. You know?
Yeah.
That's the first thing that popped into my head was Bill in front of a courtroom.
Law and Order.
Yeah.
Law and Order episode.
Bill's arguing that he was juking.
I was juking. I did not charge.
I was moving away from him.
And then he has other drunken times where he actually charged police, and you hear him saying like "charge," you know. That's me charging police. Maybe, motherfucker.
I almost died from the police last week, like dead ass. Like I almost got fucking killed by the Thai cops last week.
Oh man.
Also, so it's even bad for you guys there with police too, right?
So the prick who I work with, he's like this Moroccan dickhead, and he hates the fact that I sell weed. He just hates me in general. So he told the police that I sell drugs to like my kids. I was like, what? Whoa. No, not until they graduate. But the cops, they know. I literally tell my seniors, I was like, once you graduate, I'm looking at you three assholes in the back who are just like, yeah, you're stoned. I was like, when you graduate, hit me up. And sure enough, every year after graduation, we have like a smoke sesh because they're not my fucking students anymore. You're adults. I don't give a shit.
Ethical. I appreciate it.
Yeah. And so they were like, but the cops have to take it seriously, obviously, right? So they like raided my office and shit, but I was in Laos at the time, so it was like fine. But they had my description. All they said was black man with afro, and they knew to pull me over at 2 a.m. because they're like, oh, that's the one. Like,
yeah.
But so it was stupid because I'm a veteran, you know, veterans take care of veterans. I called the 2 veterans I know. One of them's an Army dude. He's fine. The other dude's a fucking Marine, and he'd been drinking.
Oh.
So, long story boring, they both showed up to the police station. Army dude is like, all right, let's work the bribe out here, because that's all it is. But the Marine proceeds to break you out in their lives. He's like, I'll fucking kill the bitches. Whips a gun out on the cops in the police station. Like, I might add, like, we're sitting in the fucking interrogation room. He whips out the 45. He's like, let's fucking do it. And I was like, kick him out. They're like, get the fuck out of here. We'll send your friend to prison to make a point. It's really hard to get Thai cops to give a shit to that point. He didn't leave. There's a local motorcycle gang called the Banditos, and they really are about that life. So he came back with 10 of them and 4 members of the Thai mafia. Like, this is at like 2 a.m. on a fucking Tuesday. Like, and that was bad because you just hear 14 Harley Davidsons at the same time. That's a scary fucking sound. And they all pull up. They're standing across the street strapped, and they're like fucking pointing them at the cops. They're like, let's fucking do it. And the cops hang me out the fucking window one-handed with a Sig Sauer to my head. And they're like, we're going to fucking put him. Sons of bitches across the street. He's still drunk, and he's like, we're not afraid of you motherfuckers. I was like, what's this wee shit? And I was like... I was like, fuck you. I'm afraid of everything, goddammit. Abraham Lincoln once said that adversity introduces a man to himself. I'm a bitch. because fuck that shit. I'm yelling at the fucking window. I was like, I'm not with this son of a bitch. And he's like, we'll fucking take you. I was like, we are not doing shit. Had to pay $1,000, but yeah, no more jail. So, but the cops have been looking for me for like a week. And you know, it's the funny shit. I'm sitting in my house just smoking, like paranoid, like, please don't come through my door. Every time.
Dude,
As soon as you drove off and shit, they were like, your friend's an asshole. I was like, I'm aware.
Yeah,
Man.
duly noted. Listen, I told you that I'd try to hang out with you next weekend when you come up to Bangkok, but we're
Yes,
not
sir.
going. We're not hanging out.
Oh,
I don't fucking get this in trouble and have fucking Hell's Angels, Thai Hell's Angels roll up. Jesus.
it was kind of dope because I'm a fan of Hunter S. Thompson, like devotedly. I was like, he'd be so fucking proud.
Yeah, that was definitely a Hunter S. Thompson story.
Yeah.
Holy
Oh,
shit.
God.
Yeah.
It was bad.
see-
Saturdays, man. Saturdays.
Can't hide a gun.
Yeah, my kids, when we came back, we did the what did you do over summer stories, because that was like, we started school on that Thursday. And I was like, what'd you guys do? And they were like telling me, you know, like, oh, I got my first job. And they all know what I do. We can't say weed because like I'm recorded in class now and shit. They have CCTVs for everybody. So we say donuts. So like they're like, oh, did you sell any donuts? I was like, oh, did I? To the police. And they were like, ha. Yeah. So that was bad. I told them my whole story. I'm pretty sure by the end of it, they all thought I was like Snoop Dogg for real.
They already do, sadly. They
Sadly,
probably
my
already
boss thinks I am too.
definitely think you're related somehow. Really close
Yeah,
cousins.
my
Yeah,
boss.
and
thinks
you got
so.
another cousin in Iceland
Iceland.
from the article.
Oh yeah.
Horse.
Yeah, out
My
horsing.
boss thinks. My boss really thinks
Yeah,
I am Snoop Dogg because there's this 2-week period at the end of the school year. There's no kids, but we have to sit there and do nothing. And this is like right when I started making edibles. I studied this shit in college. Like I have like an actual certificate in like human nutrition and then like cannabis horticulture because I'm trying to be a cannabis food scientist. So I like really
Nice.
worked out these edibles. They're strong as fuck. And I gave them to the American teacher because he's cool as fuck. And there's one stoner teacher. She's from the Philippines. But I brought them in. I had them test them out because we're not doing work anyway. So you had to sit there from 9 to 4. I'm like, bet. Here you go. So they take their full fucking edible. And then my boss's assistant walks up and goes, what are you doing? And she's a fucking narc. So I was like, fuck it. I'm just going to tell her. I was like, do you want weed chocolate? She's like, it looks like little weed leaves, like little pot leaves, the chocolates. And she was like, oh, she's like, does it just look like chocolate? I was like, no, there's weed in that. And she just eats the whole edible. Like no microwave, full, takes it to the head. And then I asked her, I was like, shit, hey, do you like smoke weed at all? She's like, I've never had cannabis before. I was like, in any form?
Oh,
No. So she just did a full 25 milligram edible first time with weed.
She
So we're sitting upstairs, like in one of the classrooms, like, how long do you think it's going to be before we're fucked? And she's like, and they're stoned as shit. Other teacher calls me down, goes like, you need to come to the fucking office right now. I walk in, this bitch laid the fuck out on a table, unconscious. And my boss is massaging Tiger Balm into her legs. And she's like, what the fuck did you do? She's like, this bitch can't breathe. I was like, no. She's just never had to think about breathing before.
That's the right answer.
And it was just bad because this was the new teacher's first day of work. He's like a black guy too. He's like, how the fuck do you work here? I was like, I don't know.
Amazing.
Oh, God. Yeah.
Dude, oh my
How I'm
god.
not fired is a mystery.
That's hilarious. It just made me think of my the only time I ever seen anybody really knocked out was at my brother's wedding. I went to Denver and I had some edibles from California. I think I was living in California at the time. I had some really nice, and they were delicious. It was like black and white cookies from New York. Do you know that?
oh,
Right? They were kind
Yeah.
of like that, but they were edibles and they were like almond flavored, and they were really, really delicious. Like it really went well with the cannabis. And so I told two or three of my brother's friends and my friends at the time. I was like, yo, I got some edibles if you guys want to eat some. And so I had an extra cookie, and I broke off a half, and I was like, honestly, you should eat half of that. That's what you right. Everybody always kind of says that, and they did what I would have done, which was like eat the whole thing. But they it's funny because they asked me like how much are you eating, and I was like, oh, I ate a whole cookie, and they were only eating half, so they ate the other half, and then an hour and a half later, they're like sleeping in their cars during the ceremony, and I'm like in my tux, just like blown out of my mind. And everybody's like, what happened? What happened to Dylan and fucking Lucas? I said, I'm a good big brother. I'm a good big brother.
Yeah.
When I first started making edibles, I tried to experiment with them a bit. And I was like trying to simulate the experience of an indica because all Thai landrace strains are sativas out here. So, you don't get the effect that you want. And some dudes were like, well, I really want to do it. So I experimented with crushing up melatonin and putting it in like little small doses with the chocolate. Yeah. And then I took it one step too far with my one homie. And then because I have these friends, so my label is Willie's Chocolate Factory. So I have Oompa Loompas as my taste testers, my homies. And I put Benadryl in the one. I thought he was dead for real, bro. It's like a 22-hour nap. We thought he was dead. What? We're fucking thinking, what do we do if he doesn't wake? Do we run? Do we stay? I don't know. What do you do if you overdose your friend? Are you supposed to take responsibility for that, or do you just go he lived a good life, I guess?
Yeah.
You get him a taxi, and you leave your cell phone there. You buy yourself a burner. Go to the other side of the country, quick.
Jason Bourne, nice.
Just go hang out with your old students. They'll put you up for a little bit since you have such a good relationship with them.
True shit.
That one time that me and you did mushrooms, Lex. I thought I took too much because of the way I did it. I did lemon tech, and I made a mushroom, a fresh mushroom margarita with 12 grams of mushrooms.
Fresh mushrooms
that we just picked, and
we didn't. It hadn't been dried out yet, and they were delicious.
And I drank that, and the come up to that was so crazy. I felt like I mainlined something. It hit me so hard and so fast.
Yeah, if you don't know lemon tech, or at least a little citric acid in your mycelium will do you good.
Yes.
Helps break down the fibers of the psilocybin.
All I know is that night you were standing behind a barbecue because you had to.
I was not. I was wearing a barbecue as clothes. So you didn't have to see
wearing a barbecue as clothes.
Charbroil.
Strategically hiding my little penis. But listen, the mushrooms made me get naked, man. I felt way more comfortable, and I didn't want
They do that.
It wasn't about showing you my dick. It was about just being naked at the time. I had to be. It was a calling.
I heard when you're naked, you could do flips off of walls.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I did.
I've got a good book for you then in a month, bro. I'm writing, it's called A Pocket Guide to Psilocybin. It's like a pocket. So I'm writing a bunch of pocket guides. All my writing, I figured I'd write Gonzo style for Hunter S. Thompson. So all my books are about drugs and alcohol for the most part.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
So I'm writing a bunch of pocket guides for dickheads pretty much. And so one of them is the pocket guide to psilocybin. So I'm going to write that in there. It said citric acid helps with the mushrooms. I'm definitely going to put that in there.
What's the one drug that you've done that you didn't think that you do?
I accidentally did Yaba my first night in Thailand. If you guys aren't familiar, it's a pill that they have here in Thailand. It's a little pink pill. I thought it was an Altoid because I was drunk as shit. It's half caffeine, half methamphetamine. So it's half meth, half caffeine.
Man.
And I fucked up and did that shit in Bangkok my first night in Thailand.
Yeah. Look in the vacuum a rug, but they only got tiles.
DE,
Yeah.
we're just about out of time. How do people get in touch with you or get
Social
find
media,
you, follow you,
and buy the book. Where is the
buy your
book coming?
book?
Where the book's
Yeah,
coming
so
out?
the book is going to be available on Amazon on Wednesday. So yeah, it's and it'll be under D.E. Williams there. The book is called Sudoku for Stoners. It's the beginning of a series, Four Stoners. So if you like Four Dummies, Four Stoners, and then the other one is of course called Bongo Naked. You can't miss it. It's like right there on the cover. So yeah, those will be out on Wednesday, and I'll have like new books coming every month. So I'd appreciate the support. They're pretty cheap. The first one is like $8, but the other one is only $4.99. So put 5 on it. Was the joke?
It's fucking awesome. I love you,
Good.
man. Thank you for coming
Yeah.
out. Thank you for
God
hanging out.
bless.
Yeah. And get your ass up. We will hang out in Bangkok.
Are you on Facebook and all that?
Instagram?
Yeah, I'm on Facebook under Duran Williams. I'll send Lex my info there, and then also I have IG. It's Big Will 2019. So yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Good Bowl 2019. All right. Cool. Thanks for joining us.
God bless.
Appreciate
Thank you guys for the invite. Thank you.
Yeah. Hey,
Nahi krap. Do you know what that means? Nahi
No
krap.
idea, man.
Ooh, that's called pussy face, but I said it very politely by saying krap at the end.
I know Chang Yai. They point at me and yell that shit. It means like elephant penis. But
all the women, by the way, it wasn't men who were yelling that. It's all the women, and they run away.
It happened once by accident. German friend of mine took me and bought a bar girl. He's like, I'll pay for it. Just make sure we don't end up in jail tonight. And then the next day, the bitch was walking sideways, apparently. And so they started yelling that every time I went to a bar. I was like, sorry.
Humble brag. Hashtag humble brag. All right, we get it. You have a bigger penis than all of us. I knew it when you came on. And not because of stereotypes, because I have a small penis. All right. Thanks, guys, for joining us. Be good to everybody. I don't know why I'm closing out. We usually just say, let's just end it, right? Let's just end it.
We can end it. Or are you working on anything? You want to say anything? Or
hey, follow Bangkok Comedy on Instagram. Bangkok Comedy. It's a new room that I originally opened up, and now Chris Rothhausen is running, and it's the only professional comedy show in Bangkok regularly, I believe. So, do that.
Follow me on Instagram, Facebook, Jason Kunis. I also do the official cattle market up here in Ithaca. The Finger Lakes Cattle Market, and Stoner Morning Show. Follow us on Stoner Morning Show. And Bill's got stuff to follow too.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah.
And like and subscribe. That's cool.
Yes.
Oh yeah, that thing. Yeah. So I forgot where I was going with it.
You're gonna plug something.
Oh yeah. You can follow me.
All right. Good show.
That's it.
Thanks for joining us.
See you later, buddy.
God bless.
Thanks for anybody who commented in the comments. That was a fun show. Yeah, Andrea. All right.
Out.